Have you ever felt it, that quiet, desperate hunger that no external success can silence? It's the feeling of running a frantic race, only to realize the finish line was inside you all along. We are men living in a world of endless noise, where every screen screams for our attention, promising a shortcut to power or peace. But true power, the kind that changes a room just by your presence, doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being more. Before we go deeper into semen retention mastery, subscribe to this channel and join our Telegram community linked below. You'll get guidance, insights, and exclusive updates designed to accelerate your growth. Stay connected. Your discipline, focus, and transformation begin right here. This is the journey of the divine masculine, and its ultimate reward isn't applause or validation. It's the profound, undeniable yes that arises from the deepest feminine principle, both within your own soul and in the world around you. This recognition is not a prize to be won, but a natural echo of your own integrity. It is the moment your chaos finally meets a fierce, protective love, and a tremor of relief passes through everything you touch. The concept of the feminine recognizing the divine masculine isn't a romantic fantasy. It's a nervous system truth. Think of it. When you walk into a space, what signal are you broadcasting? Are you frantic, guarded, or constantly scanning for your next fix? That energy is a form of ambient threat, a low-level static that makes connection impossible. But when masculine energy becomes coherent, ethical, and rightly aimed, something miraculous happens. That yes is a physical, embodied response, a relaxing of the jaw, a deepening of the breath, a lowering of the shoulders. The feminine senses that the threat has been lowered, the noise has been simplified, and the direction has been clarified. It recognizes you, not by your titles or your bank account, but by your relationship to time, truth, and tension. This is why we explore practices like semen retention, not as a sterile act of self-denial, but as a deliberate training in voltage management. You are learning to carry an enormous charge, the fire of creation itself, without scorching the room, without needing to discharge the moment tension arises. Retention is merely a catalyst, a way to collect the dispersed energy of your life so you can finally aim it. It shifts your deepest preference from immediate, anxious relief to sustained, deliberate creation. It's the difference between a novel-chasing tourist and a resource-stewarding visionary. The recognition we seek bypasses the mask and goes straight for the essence. It doesn't care about the battery in your chest. It cares about the wisdom with which you carry the voltage. This wisdom is tested in two sacred theaters. First, the inner feminine, your own capacity to feel, to receive, to imagine, your soul's true north. She watches, with an unwavering eye, how your newfound discipline treats your own softness. Second, the outer feminine, your partners, friends, community, and the very texture of life itself. They watch how your discipline treats the world. If your practice, no matter how rigorous, forces you to repress your grief, abandon your awe, or crush the spontaneity of your heart, recognition will immediately withdraw. It will only ripen when your strength becomes a nourishing structure for both your inner world and the external reality you seek to serve. The architecture of trust, safety, coherence, and purpose. The entire edifice of the divine masculine rests on three foundational pillars. 3 gates, the feminine principle tests with every interaction. You must understand that these are not abstract concepts. They are the living, breathing metrics of your soul's presence. The first is safety. This is not about being harmless. It is about being utterly trustworthy with your own power. The world is weary of men who are either Newman capable of feeling their own intensity or Fairlane-controlled when charge hits. Safety is your capacity to hold your fire without exploding or collapsing. The feminine scans your breath, your eyes, your timing, and your touch, searching for evidence of a non-predatory presence. It's an essential, primal scan. This is the mastery of the internal no, your ability to say no to your own compulsion, your own self-interest, before anyone else has to set a boundary with you. That is the true definition of power, absolute self-containment. The second gate is coherence. The feminine principle, both inside and out, functions as a micro-incongruence tracker, superior to any lie detector. It needs to know that your external persona matches your internal reality. It tracks whether your grand stated values actually align with the mundane entries on your calendar. Does your tenderness survive your bad day, or does it vanish the moment pressure hits? Do your apologies come with actual behavioral change, or are they just verbal smoozing? It doesn't need speeches, it needs receipts. It needs pattern-level evidence that your center is not for sale when the real pressure, the honest weather of life, arise. This is the difference between a performance and a blueprint. The third and highest gate is purpose. This is recognition that you are already in a profound relationship with something larger than approval, larger than your own ego. It could be a craft, a vow to your community, a spiritual call, or a sacred task. The feminine senses immediately if it is being asked to orbit a voider, man whose life is hollow and needs her energy to fill it versus being invited to dance with a vector, man whose life is already in motion toward a worthy aim. Purpose does not demand a frantic grind. It simply means that your yes and your no serve a great, unfolding story that your soul can respect. When these three gates, safety, coherence, and purpose are honored, the discipline of retention ceases to be about lack and becomes about aim. The alchemical difference, containment versus control. A critical distinction must be made, for this is where the shadow of masculine discipline often falls. We must distinguish containment from control. Containment is a promise about yourself. I will hold my energy, my boundaries, my breath, and my process. It is an act of self-sovereignty. Control, however, is a plan about another person or the world. You will feel this, do that, or be this way to make me feel secure. The feminine recognizes containment as the precondition for intimacy and safety. It reads control as fear in armor, a desperate attempt to regulate an internal storm by managing the external environment. Retention is valuable only when it increases your capacity for containment, leading to inner resilience, not when it feeds the illusion of control, leading to rigidity and isolation. When retention veers into the shadow, it becomes repression. The signs are clear: a brittle moral superiority, an accompanying dryness, contempt for the free choices of others, or secret binge cycles that betray the posture. This is not mastery. It is simply tightening a valve rather than cultivating a channel. The feminine principle is deeply allergic to brittle virtue. She can smell when a disciplined facade is merely a moat built around an unhealed ache. Unintegrated austerity does not magnetize. It only repels. Real transmutation is somatic and relational. The pelvis learns to breathe. The heart remains online and engaged. The voice softens its tone without losing its essential firmness. You gain the ability to hold a boundary without punishing, to name a desire without demanding, and to feel a powerful emotional wave without surfing the nearest distraction. This signature combination of warmth plus structure is the hallmark of the divine masculine that the feminine deeply trusts. Therefore, run your diagnostics beyond simple day counts. Ask yourself, after 30 or 90 days, am I more playful, more precise, more generous, more able to keep inconvenient promises? Do my creative outputs deepen, and do my conversations get cleaner? The feminine is not grading abstinence. It is reading the downstream effects. Retention that does not transmute into artistry and service is, quite simply, just storage. The auditor of the soul. Dialogue with the inner feminine. Your inner feminine, your anoma, as Jung called her, is the soul's deepest auditor. She does not bow to your performance metrics or your self-help ideology. She demands relatedness. She needs to know whether your masculine, discipline your structure, and your note-yo can sit with the full spectrum of your human experience, grief, boredom, awe, and wonder, without immediately editing them to fit a clean, respectable identity. She is the first and fiercest guardian of your integrity. Listen to her memos through your dreams. When your masculine retention is genuinely aligned with your soul's path, your dreams become richly textured. More color, more plot, more guiding conversations that feel like mentorship. When you drift, your dreams flatten into frantic chase scenes or numbing, repetitive loops. Do not fetishize the symbols. Feel the tonal residue. Does the dream leave you with a sense of knitted courage, or with a sprinting mind riddled with anxiety? The residue is recognition, or its heartbreaking absence? To honor her, try a daily dialogue. Create 2 columns in your journal. The left is your clear, concise, and specific masculine voice. The right is your curious, candid, and body-based feminine voice. Ask simple, piercing questions. Where did I force my will today? Where did I abandon a feeling or a commitment? Then, negotiate one tangible action that will restore trust between these 2 principles. Sometimes this means unapologetic rest. Sometimes it means finishing the unsexy, necessary task you've avoided. And sometimes it's the terrifying act of admitting a genuine fear you've been disguising as ambitious striving. Most powerfully, practice a sincere apology to your inner feminine. When you blow past your own limits, numb feelings, or posture in some form of spiritual costume, say it out loud. I did that. I see the cost. Then, and this is crucial, repair behaviorally. This is the behavioral change that makes your apology mean something. Adjust your sleep, tell the simple truth to someone you've been managing, or cancel the unnecessary performance you're using as an avoidance strategy for true intimacy. Recognition is not earned through feigned perfection. It grows where repair is routine and humble. The external mirror. relating to the world's feminine when the feedback from your inner world and the outer world clash. You must privilege the most honest signal, not the most flattering. If your partner praises your restraint, but your dreams scream desert, you must hydrate the psyche immediately. If your dreams are grand and visionary, but your community reflects constant chaos around you, you must tighten the feedback loop of reality. The divine masculine, like a masterful conductor, can hear multiple choirs and still keep perfect time. In the sphere of your partner, they do not need your perfection, they need your predictability. If you engage in retention within a relationship, it must be collaborative. Share your cycles, name your motivations, set review dates, and co-design affectionate alternatives that feel nourishing and creative rather than punitive or cold. Recognition deepens only when your discipline is experienced by the feminine as a widening of intimacy, not a fearful rationing of warmth. Consent in this realm is a living, breathing conversation, not a one-time checkbox. You must learn to track arousal and boundaries simultaneously, without allowing either to become sacred or shameful. Practices like somatic pacing, slowing your exhale, pausing to feel, and checking the eyes for true presence all build a field where erotic energy can be explored without being hijacked by compulsive endpoints. The ultimate recognition here is your capacity to stop without shutting down. Beyond the romantic, the feminine appears as mentors, elders, friends, art, and nature. The ocean, good architecture, a beautifully made meal, the song of a bird. These are all feminine mirrors, constantly teaching you proportion, receptivity, and cadence. If your discipline isolates you from these simple, powerful teachers, you are training in a vacuum. Recognition increases in direct proportion to how deeply you are in conversation with the world's textures. Art is perhaps the most ruthless mirror. Commit to writing, painting, dancing, or building something weekly not for likes, but for accuracy. Your creative work will immediately expose whether your restraint is truly turning into clarity or merely into a clenched minimalism. The feminine principle in art recognizes whether your lines breathe, whether your structures have heart. Retention that feeds beauty is deeply trusted. Retention that only subtracts and simplifies is aesthetically and spiritually suspect. Finally, invite inspection. Do not seek adoration. Ask a trusted feminine presence. Where does my strength feel safest? Where does it feel stiff and rigid? Where does it feel absent entirely? Receive the answer fully, without litigating the tone or arguing the specifics. The divine masculine's mastery is his ability to make honest, challenging feedback. Celibacy, recognition grows most rapidly in environments where hard truth can land without feeling like a walk on glass. The sacred rhythm, time, truth, and direction. The essence of the divine masculine is his relationship to time. Not speed, not slowness, but rightness. He keeps time not just for the clock, but for his soul. This means honoring bedtimes that respect tomorrow's energy, starting times that respect others' presence, and breaks that respect the needs of your animal body. The feminine recognizes a man who is punctual to his higher purpose and unhurried with his care. This steady, dependable rhythm creates the harbor where trust can finally moor itself. Make fewer promises, but keep those promises fiercely. The feminine reads your calendar as scripture. If your mouth writes checks that your days cannot cash, your spiritual currency immediately inflates and devalues. Let your commitments be weight-bearing beams in your life's structure, not merely decorative trim. A single, consistently kept boundary is louder than 20 aspirational social media posts. A single, behaviorally repaired breach is louder than a month of self-conscious posturing. Conflict is the truth lab. In a heated difference, can you hold your position without collapsing into appeasement or exploding into domination? The feminine recognizes the man who can metabolize this emotional heat, naming his position cleanly, hearing the other, fully negotiating outcomes that honor values over victory. This is the mature form of masculine power. Power with, power over, is merely its unripe shadow. Your stewardship extends to money, space, and matter. Pay what you owe. Tidy the single corner of the world you inhabit. Take the time to fix the hinge that squeaks on your door. The feminine notices how you relate to the physical world because it is the most honest betrayer of your invisible ethic. Both scarcity theater and reckless flexing leak safety. Simplicity married to generosity is the true, recognizable signature. And finally, recognition is always longitudinal. The feminine watches you across the seasons of your life. Injury, deep boredom, sudden success, and heartbreaking rejection. Can you carry the light of your commitment through the long winter without making others shiver from your coldness? Can you carry praise without immediate inflation? Can you gently and wisely start again after a significant fall? Semen retention is merely one season's protocol. The divine masculine is the one who tends to all weathers. Earning the echo. Protocols for embodied recognition. To fully earn and embody this recognition, anchor your daily life in 5 core reliabilities. Breath, train for a longer, slower exhale whenever stress or temptation arises. Boundaries, offer explicit, kind nods that arrive early, protecting your time and energy. Calendar, maintain visible commitments with necessary buffers for your human fallibility. Craft, deepen one essential skill weekly, regardless of your momentary mood. Care, maintain a steady offering of service, mentoring, or generosity that keeps your vital energy circulating outward. Recognition accumulates where these 5 anchors are boringly consistent. In your communication, pass your words through 3 gates before speaking. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it useful? If a thought fails any of these gates, pause. The feminine recognizes restraint that protects the field of the relationship, not silence that punishes or stonewalls. In conflict, aim for sentences that reduce the fog while keeping the dignity of all parties intact. Clean your signal. Drastically reduce the sensory inputs that constantly hijack your limbic system. Doom scrolling, outrage loops, pornified imagery, and excess caffeine. Replace them with slow strength, sunlight, resistance training, walking without constant earbuds, and long-form reading. Retention works best when the noise floor drops, allowing you to hear the subtle guidance within. Adopt 2 simple, profound rites. The daily stillness walk, a minimum of 15 minutes. Phone off, attention resting on your breath and the horizon. This teaches you, moment by moment, how to carry charge without discharge. The 72-hour reliability challenge. Make 3 small specific promises and keep them exactly for 3 days. This teaches your deep system the fundamental, foundational taste of trust. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. These rites are humble, but the feminine recognizes their echo in the simple solidity of your presence. Let us close with a vow you can speak tonight. May my strength be warm, my boundaries be kind, my word be clean. I retain not to hoard, but to serve. I am not to control, but to contain. I seek not to impress, but to be inspected. May the feminine, within and without, recognize in me a man who keeps time with truth. Live that, and recognition will take care of itself.